Good morning. Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast, June 24th, 2017.
Today on the newscast, we talk the Han Solo movie.
Massive Pokemon Go update just dropped.
IO Interactive becomes independent.
And Netflix is experimenting with choose-your-own-adventure stories.
Stay tuned for all that and more on the Barrel Roll Newscast. Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome.
To the Barrel Roll Newscast.
See, people complain about our green screen all the time. We have perfected it.
It's outside. This is the greenest of screens. This is the greenest
of screens.
The realest of green screens.
With the most natural lighting we will ever have.
Yes, and the freshest of airs.
My knees are going to burn, but that's cool.
We'll
sit in the shade.
Yeah. We'll put,
This is the guys on the other side of the umbrella.
We'll put this over top of you. Get a little Batman case on you.
All right, so
welcome
to the Barrel Roll Newscast. Today
Yes.
we're talking about all that lovely stuff.
Wonderful stuff.
Yes. Before we do, though, Tony.
Yo.
Before we do, I have to go get something.
Okay.
So stall for time.
Okay. Well, you guys talked about E3 all last week.
Yeah, good.
I feel like I should put my 2 cents in.
Yes, you should.
It's just Mario Odyssey. It's just Mario
Literally
Odyssey. Like, I'm not super excited about most things that they dropped at E3.
Or
like, just
everything.
I think Nintendo stuff did really good. Like, obviously Pokemon, everyone's super excited for Pokemon.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a sucker. I'll probably buy Pokemon Tournament DX, but like that's just how I go. Like, that's what I do, right?
That's
so
how you roll.
like, I love that Pokemon Tournament, and I think that's one game that everybody wanted from the Wii U, one of the ones from the Wii U era.
Why?
So that's it, and Mario Odyssey
And Spider-Man.
Yeah, actually, they did a really good job with that Spider-Man reveal. Hey, ha!
Good job.
Canada Day,
Not just that.
and
Happy birthday to Chris.
it's his birthday.
It's his birthday.
It's his birthday.
Blow it out.
Okay.
Good job. Ignore
Yeah.
the Canada Day things. They were the only cupcakes they had.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, that's basically it. For me. I mean,
Okay, core Pokemon RPG.
that's my big question mark. I'm okay with them saying that they're working on it.
Yep,
Because we have Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon coming out this year.
we do.
So that'll tide me over.
And I'm really hoping that the new one coming out isn't just, Pokemon Stars like people.
It won't be Pokemon Stars.
I'm hoping for a brand new.
I think that they had said that it's a brand new.
I know at least it was
core.
core RPG,
Yeah,
so that was cool.
And they've never really talked about it as a core RPG before, but having them confirm it as one of those in the mainline series is nice to hear. Because as much as fun as Gale of Darkness was, it was fun for about maybe like 10 minutes.
Yeah, because you were running around in 3D. There were Pokemon.
felt
You're
cool.
like, yes, and then it was like
and then the
dark
actual
Pokemon or whatever you had to catch.
It got real weird.
You had to catch other people's Pokemon.
Yeah,
and
you
it was
couldn't actually catch Pokemon.
Steal Pokemon?
Yes.
Yes, you actually
Team Rocket?
a little bit.
Sort of.
Okay.
You're
Kinda.
actually stealing them from the bad guys to turn the Pokemon good
Yeah.
again.
So you're getting rid of the shadow element.
Anti-Team Rocket.
Yes.
Yes,
Maybe.
you're
I don't know.
stealing back Pokemon.
Team Shadow.
Still
don't-
stealing, you got that.
Yeah.
So it's just a game of thieves. Uncharted.
Alright.
But Pokemon.
Uncharted.
Sounds interesting.
Uncharted. Just Pokemon.
It was, but then to use the Pokemon, you had to
And
eliminate like the darkness on them.
so essentially, you had to have them in your party. But remember how when a Pokemon was too high level, they wouldn't listen to you.
Yes.
If
Same
they
thing.
don't have the
it
right
would
badges.
It would be like that. Where
So if they were
sometimes
too dark, they would
wouldn't
not listen to you.
So you'd have to continually use them. And on top of that, you could only catch like 100 and something.
Yeah, there weren't
You
that
you couldn't catch them all at
All
that time.
150?
Well, I think this was
One?
Generation 2 at the time.
at the time. So,
So you
yeah.
couldn't catch all 250.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, oh, that's stupid. Lugia was in it, but that's
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Lugia.
Lugia was in it.
Cool
Yu-Gi-Oh.
crossover.
I
call
go-
you
Over.
Go Slifer.
I call Yu-Gi-Oh. I
Dark
call
Magician.
Dark Magician.
This is a weird chain.
Dark Magician comes out and it's like,
What just-
Garurumon, go!
What just happened? What's going on?
Every like Fox anime from
The early
the
90s.
early 90s, just like one after the other, like a Russian nesting doll.
That'd be awesome.
Ultimate Muscle comes out. That'd be awesome. But yeah, like I think Nintendo's was the biggest presence.
And you know what I
Yes.
watched? It was Honest Trailers that I watched yesterday that actually put it the right way. Is Nintendo's done it right where they get rid of the guys in the suits talking about games, and they're just like, "Hey, internet, here is 23 minutes of what we're gonna do."
And debate and arguably Sony did the same thing too, because they had Sean
Yep.
whoever his
That
name
dude
is.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, like he went on stage, said a little like his blurb,
And
thanks,
then
thanks
just-
for coming. Here's some here's games.
Here's some VR games.
Here's some VR games.
Sure.
Here's Spider-Man. Here's the next Uncharted game. You guys love those, I hear.
Well, because
And then he came back on stage and said, "We'll see you guys on the floor."
yeah, because
And
that's
then
all
showed
anybody
more.
wants from that show.
Yeah, like
is-
I think Microsoft,
Microsoft.
as interesting as the Xbox One X is, I'm interested to see what the market is for a $600 console
yeah, in Canada.
in Canada.
Yeah.
Like even in America, like $500 is
You're
expensive
gonna
for
get
them.
those diehard kids that are, kids I work with, they have Xboxes.
Yes,
They're
but
the only ones I know that have Xboxes.
That's why everybody on Xbox sounds like a 12-year-old.
it's like
10 or 9.
sounds
Yeah.
about right. But yeah, like no one cares that you have the most numbers and a sweet, sick vapor chamber.
Well, and like we were talking about last week, all of their games are starting to go like Rocket League's cross, like Minecraft
Yeah.
is cross
Cross everything.
like
That's
cross-platform.
kind
now,
of
like-
the big takeaway
what
is
I'm excited for, kind of, is
the fact that you can-
platform.
yeah.
yeah. The only thing that isn't cross-platform with Minecraft is PlayStation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
And Rocket
PlayStation's
League.
the only one staying like they're like, nope. Everybody else is like,
iPhones to Switches to Xbox Ones to PCs.
well, in Rocket League, like
we need to we should try that.
I was not interested in Rocket League on the Switch because I'm not a huge Rocket League person.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the Switch, I'm going, well, but the user base is going to be
Yeah,
this big on the Switch.
Yeah.
easy wins.
Except now I can play everybody
Well,
except PlayStation.
PlayStation.
And I'm sitting there going, I am more inclined now to get Rocket League as a $20 game that comes
Yes.
out. Going like, oh, well, there'll actually be
Because you
people
can play
on
with
there.
people on the PC and
No,
stuff.
Dad, no. Now is not a good time. Not a good time, Dad.
But I
If
mean,
you're watching.
Even starting with those two, just Rocket League and Minecraft, you don't. I'm hoping for more crossplay.
Oh,
Really.
sure.
I
And like
think
and
it's
like
the
we
start of
said,
something.
the only thing first-person shooters get a little iffy. Crossing
I don't
with
think
the
you
computer.
could have so much the computer. I think that's just a console base.
Well-
You can't really include the.
I remember when Unreal Tournament 3 came out on the PS3, it had keyboard and mouse support. And when you actually played online, you could actually just see if the
Who was
person was
using-
mouse and keyboard and say, fuck that guy in particular.
Yeah.
If you had a controller on at the time.
Just pick on them.
Yeah. Or they would just wreck you.
Sounds
Yeah.
about
So-
right. Sounds like my arms experience.
Yes. I think I was a little bit. I don't know if I was impressed or like excited that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is actually happening.
I need more.
I think my big problem with it is prequels are so hard to do. And I don't know that I wanted a prequel for Beyond Good and Evil 2. Have you ever
I've
played
never played the first one, so I.
Oh yeah, you
that's-
need to. It actually ages quite well.
It does actually.
For-
It's a computer thing, right?
No, it's on PC.
It's on everything.
You can get it on the PS4 too. I think right now,
Can
right?
you?
I think.
Probably.
I
I
haven't
feel
seen it.
like you could. If
I
not,
haven't checked, but
you can probably bet your bottom dollar they'll make another HD remaster between now and Beyond Good and Evil 2
I'm assuming.
to generate more hype.
I
Not
hear-
that it needed more hype to begin with, but I don't think that prequel is what I was looking forward
Well,
to.
and a pre-rendered cutscene doesn't show me any.
And that, yeah, like
thing.
it has no. The story seemed really thin. Like the reasoning for those characters, I have no connection to them.
Yeah, and that's the piece. Is like you have the guy show up, like the monkey shows up, gives the pig the thing falls apart. They banter
Yeah.
back and forth,
And
and,
then
they
they have this-
disappear, and you're just kind of like, okay.
what's that?
Yeah, like
And I'm like, who's doing what, and why should I be laughing at the monkey, or should I be mad at the monkey?
Yeah,
You
What 'cause-
always
team-
laugh at monkeys.
yeah, because
Monkeys
like
are funny.
halfway through that reveal, I was like, that pig looked an awful lot like the artwork from Beyond Good and Evil big. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, this is it. But I don't know that I was ready for that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you all of a sudden give us a character from Beyond Good and Evil 1, I'm in.
It's
Like,
who
I'm
knows?
attached to that trailer now. This trailer has no one I know in a setting I don't understand,
Yeah.
doing things I have no idea what's going. Like, it's like,
Like
here's
it-
the middle of the book.
Yeah.
I think though there is going to be way more to that game than obviously that trailer will.
Obviously, but show me that, then I'll get excited.
And I think that game is way still far away.
Yeah.
I think it's like easily. I can see that easily being 2019.
Well, if it continues on its regular trend, it'll be another 10 years before we
Next
see another
generation.
trailer. Yeah.
Next generation.
Yeah.
Wait.
It seemed like a lot of things were quite a ways away.
If it was interesting and exciting, it was a ways away. But if it was,
Well, like Nintendo stuff seems like it's sooner.
Mhm.
You look at the release dates on all the Sony stuff, they're all like, and I checked the store after. It's
Did they have a date for the
it's
God
all
of War?
It's all December 31st, either 17 or 18.
Well, yeah, those
and
are
it's
all just-
like you're just putting numbers down. You're
oh
not
yeah,
even-
they need a placeholder.
They need a
for the-
placeholder for pre-orders and stuff.
So,
Yeah, that's how they get your money. Don't ever do pre-orders. That's silly.
Well,
I
what was
want to
it?
do Shadow of War pre-order.
See,
I want to. I
and
like
that's
that
my
game.
thing. Like Zelda, if Zelda came out with a pre-order bonus, you know you're getting it.
Yeah.
If it's a guaranteed good game, and you know you've played the first one, and like the second one's coming out, and you're like, yeah,
Or if it demoed well, even on the show floor, or
sure,
something like that.
then pre-order, especially like that's cool. But yeah, when people all of a sudden are like,
Beyond Good and Evil 2, pre-order now.
and get
no.
special bonus, like no, thank you.
Extra skins.
Or Assassin's Creed, there's 6 different versions of Assassin's
Oh my
Creed.
God,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
like a
that-
$600 version too. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I even had that discussion with someone
Buy
yesterday.
an Xbox One X or Assassin's Creed
Creed.
Collector's Edition.
they're-
You can't have both. Oh wait, you're stupid enough? Okay, here you go.
People will buy it.
Oh yeah.
Drop $1,200 just for one game.
Yep.
Yeah, yesterday I talked about it with another guy, even with Destiny 2.
I think that-
he's a big Destiny fan.
And I think though
and
Destiny's,
but he's like, I don't want to pre-order because I see these things and it's woohoo.
but I think with Destiny that the big the selling point with that is that that game has a lot of it's got loot, but it's got a lot of staying power. Because if you think about Destiny 1, tons of people still play that.
Sure.
Tons of people still play
Yeah,
But
Destiny
that's
1.
that's again, that's
And
like
so
But the thing
they
with
can.
equipment though, like that's what they're. Ooh, you get equipment, but I'll find something better than that within
Yes.
But can I
an hour into the game.
Can you reskin equipment in that game?
You can reskin characters, but I don't know if you can do
know about
equipment.
Because that's the thing. Like, if I get a cool looking gun,
Maybe
because I
in this
pre-ordered, man, maybe in this one, and I get a cool looking gun, and all of a sudden I pick up another gun, and I'm like, oh, this one looks stupid. But then I can put
Yeah.
the look of one gun onto another gun. Then I can see pre-ordering, like that kind of stuff.
I'm a big fan of pre-orders that give you like an actual physical
thing.
item.
That's what the only time I ever pre-order usually.
Like, and it has to be something worthwhile, not just
Yep.
like, oh, get some pins or get a keychain. It's like, that's cool. No, thank you.
But that's like World or Warcraft when it first came out.
Warcraft did good ones.
Like World of Warcraft did really good ones. Those collector boxes were at the beginning really good.
Yeah.
Once the trading card game came out, they started going downhill. Because it was like that was pretty much the physical item you got was
Cards.
And it's like, but the first one you gave me a cloth map,
A
mouse pad, an art book, a CD. I had the game on DVD, which was a big deal when Warcraft first came out. Because otherwise it was on 4 discs or 1 DVD.
I remember that.
But like it was like a package of stuff, and then as it kept going, all of a sudden it was like there was no cloth map. This got replaced with like something else got replaced with the cards.
Well, even look at something like Overwatch now. Like,
Yeah.
a ton of that stuff, all that stuff is basically cosmetics for other games. They had an expensive collector's edition for Overwatch, but it wasn't worth it because it was just a giant statue of Soldier 76.
Which is funny now that you think about it, because if it would have been Tracer,
It would have sold way more.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or Widowmaker.
Tracer I see as more of the like she's the
Oh, yeah.
She's the one you recognize.
she's the one you recognize
Yes.
from Overwatch now, which I think is what they were hoping Soldier 76 was going to be, and all of a sudden everybody's like Tracer. Just and honestly, but like that came out just because of like the posture all the time, like
Yes, the butt pose.
the butt pose that made it famous online. You're just like, all right, and then it's just Tracer, and Tracer's actually pretty fun. Like she's a fun character, so it's
And people will relate to that kind of character.
yeah,
But yeah, E3 was kind of meh for me.
yeah.
I don't know.
Like we said, Nintendo pretty much all obviously like look what it made him do.
It made me do it.
It made you do it.
It made you. Otherwise, yeah, everybody else was kind of just...
Like, don't get me wrong, I'll probably get Spider-Man. I will probably get Spider-Man on the PS4. Like, that almost feels like a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
And I'm surprised it showed so well. And that was their sort of Sony's marquee game to show off. It wasn't like...
I mean, they showed off some of God of War. And...
I'm surprised it wasn't the other way around. Because you would...
No, but God of War is something that you're already familiar with. You don't need to showcase it that much.
It feels so different than the last few God of War games, though.
Because he has an axe and not two
well,
swords.
Well, no. It's more the camera angle, the way the action is set up. Because God of War was traditionally a third-person... Well, not that this one isn't, but it was very, like, loose and very action-y third-person shooter. This one seems very cinematic and very... Not predetermined, but like it's all pre-canned animations. It feels like a Resident Evil 4, what Resident Evil 4 did to
QuickTime events.
Well, QuickTime events. Well, yeah, there isn't many QuickTime events in the demo that they showed off either. Like, I mean, as much as we rap on QuickTime events being so boring in games and very just kind of blah, God of War really did it well. God of War and Uncharted did them well.
I was gonna say, if a game does them well. Because even Spider-Man, looking at that, like there's gonna
that seems like it's gonna be.
But it has to be, otherwise there's no way of doing Spider-Man combat.
Yeah.
And honestly, if it builds up to like you're doing the combat stuff, and it builds up to a combo where essentially you hit the button and then have to do a quick time event, I'm not mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it lets me look like if it lets me look like Spider-Man, then cool. And Resident Evil 4 did a good job of all those things. All of a sudden, it was like press A really fast to run. And you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
There's a boulder chasing me. Why is there a boulder chasing me? I wasn't expecting this.
There's a giant statue. It's alive now, but.
Well, and then Resident Evil kept doing it where it was like during a cinematic, it's like press A, and you're like, what?
Yeah, because
that was the first time
you could die in cinematics. You can die
in a cinematic.
You're tied up with that guy, and you're just there's a come on, it's a cinematic. I'm gonna dodge it. You died. What?
Nope.
What? Press what to what? I'm supposed to be watching a movie.
Yeah, that's...
All right, so shall we get into the
news? Let's do things.
All right. First off, Han Solo.
Yeah.
The movie.
This past week has been kind of all over the place with this movie.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, a lot of emotions, a lot of confusing thoughts. So if you haven't heard, the Han Solo movie earlier this week had lost its directors. I can't remember their names off the top of my head.
No one can.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
But either way, they had lost their directors early on this week due to creative differences.
Major creative differences.
And so a lot of people were saying, like, oh, what's going to happen to the Han Solo movie? Are they going to shelve it right now? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, they're not going to do that. Like, you'll find...
Stuff's already been filmed. Things are moving along.
This will be filmed, or they're going to fix this director thing by the end of the week.
Yeah.
And to which they
did.
They have.
Next day.
Well, I think it took them 2 days. 2 days.
Whatever. It was pretty close.
It was almost like it was predetermined that if these guys drop out,
this was going to happen.
We're going to have this guy.
So, yeah.
We get Ron Howard directing Star Wars.
Choice.
I'm okay with that still. Whatever.
And someone online was really funny. It was like, Marvel / or Star Wars / Disney executive. Can you make a movie with and follow orders from producers? And then Ron Howard, have you seen the Da Vinci Code movies? You're hired.
Yeah, those movies aren't great, but
they're not bad. I don't mind watching Tom Hanks run around solving puzzles.
Sure. Yeah.
Ron Howard knows how to make a film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
him doing a Star Wars flick is kind of cool. I would never have put Ron Howard in charge of a Star Wars movie, but hey.
Sure. Weirder things have happened. Look at J.J. Abrams.
Sure.
Right? Well, I think J.J. Abrams was already kind of a nerdy type of guy.
Well, he was a nerdy type of guy, but he was always associated with Star Trek at that time.
Because of,
but even when he said Star Trek, he even said, I'm a Star Wars fan.
Right.
Yeah. Right off the bat.
Right, but it's you don't put 2 and 2 together. It's like, oh, they're not going to totally snipe. Oh, they sniped JJ for Star Wars. So it's also worth noting that reshoots also already happened before these guys were fired as well.
Yeah,
fired.
Or let go.
Quit or whatever.
Mutually
assured destruction.
Creative differences is the technical term, guys, for them. And I think I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it.
Especially being this early into the production of the movie. Like, they can...
Yeah.
It sure might delay it maybe a couple months, but...
Oh, whatever. I don't think it would even do that.
No one's gonna...
I don't think it'll even come to that.
But
Ron Howard will kick this movie into gear and get her done.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is like people online, well, you have people who are good at improvising and good at this, so you don't want them doing that. And it's like, well, no, that's not what anybody said. But when the movie's supposed to be this story, and your directors are trying to take it in a completely different direction, they shouldn't have that job.
It's funny that this news came out around this time because Edgar Wright actually came out and talked about his experience with Marvel and Ant-Man, and he had left Marvel basically in and around for the same reasons.
Yeah,
he left Ant-Man because of creative differences, and I think at that point he understood them, so he stepped away himself rather than Marvel.
You're not going to get the movie you want to do. So.
And I think he came to peace with that.
Yeah.
And at least he still got his credit at the end of Ant-Man. So.
Well, and a lot of stuff with Ant-Man too, is you look at it, and that was the time when there was still that round table council of like Marvel people.
Yeah, like Mike.
Before it was just Kevin Feige. Yeah. It was like the round table, and everybody at that point wanted to quit. Like Robert Downey Jr. was done, Chris Evans was going to be done, everybody was done. Mm-hmm. That council got canned. Kevin Feige got put in charge, and all of a sudden everybody was like, all right, we're back.
Yep.
And you're sitting there going, you couldn't have done that like how many months ago when Edgar Wright was like fighting with these guys? Because apparently that's pretty much the reason he quit.
Yeah, I can believe that too, because Edgar Wright, as good of a director as he is kind of kooky sometimes.
Yeah, but so is James Gunn, and look at how that worked out.
So, and I think that happened shortly afterwards. Yeah. So, and Ant-Man was supposed to be a Phase 1 movie. That's why it felt like there should have been more connections to the first couple movies rather than shoehorning the second Ant-Man in rather than the first Ant-Man character.
Scott Lang, they did it well, though.
Oh, yeah, they pulled out of that tailspin quite well.
Yeah.
So
I'm not mad about this one.
No.
And businesses have to do what businesses have to do. That always gets me when people are like, oh, Disney's just a giant. It's like, yes, they're a giant mega corporation putting in how much money into this film.
And how much money are they making? How much are you making? Like, I think they can make they're people that know what they're doing at the top of that company.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's Lucas. It's not just Disney. It's LucasArts. Like, Kathleen Kennedy is in charge.
Yeah.
And again, they're fronting... what, $300 million for this film?
Yeah.
I can barely front $30 for,
I can barely cut $30 for a date night for the movie.
I know, right?
Just let them do it.
Like, let them handle this.
If I was putting that much money into something, I would want to be, I put in, how much money into renovating a house. I'm making sure the people building my house are doing what I want done.
Right. And obviously she knows what was going on.
Yeah.
Force Awakens, all right. And Rogue One, pretty good.
And again, people complain about the Rogue One and Force Awakens here and there, but
yeah, but I think those people are just wanting way more than what they're available
I think so.
to do.
Like, I'm going to see a good movie. I'm getting a good movie.
Yeah, like
I watched the original Star Wars movies, and it's like
you're never gonna get that magic back.
No, and that magic happened at a time when sci-fi wasn't sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like, that was new.
And technology for making movies is not the same.
No.
It's way too easy nowadays to do.
But the fact that Rogue One looks like it fits into that slot right before Episode 4, that's a marvel in and of itself. Mm-hmm. And I thought, we've talked about this all the time, is Rogue One is... the fact that they... Spoilers for those 5 of you who haven't seen it.
Or seen Star Wars Episode 4.
Yeah, but the fact that they kill everybody...
That's a bold move.
That was a bold move that I wasn't...
That was kind of expected, I think.
It was expected by us, but anything expected by us usually does not happen.
Yeah, it's like that's you expect one or two of your favorite characters that you really enjoy die.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Like, I was expecting some of them to go, and all of a sudden Jane's gonna Urso's gonna make it off the planet.
I was expecting
hugging on the beach.
Honestly, I was expecting K2 to be the only one that to can it.
And then to bite in future movies.
Well, and then I thought too, after that, you're sitting there going, the droid could have made it out.
Of all people, let's twist this up. The one that dies first actually lives.
Either who.
Yeah. So moving on.
It's a good thing you're here this week.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
The Pokemon Go update that we had talked about last week, with the gym update and rework. That actually all completely dropped within the span of, I think, 3 days this week. So not only do we get the new gym update, we also have the new raid update as well, which is also dropped yesterday.
So explain these things to those of us who haven't logged on in months.
So with the old gym update, you needed to level the gyms up before you can put Pokemon into them.
Yep.
And you can have you could have a maximum of 10.
Yep.
Well, now with the new gym rework, they have gotten rid of all of that. Gyms now hold a maximum of 6 Pokemon, and you can always put in 6 Pokemon. You don't have to level it up or anything like that. So, gone are the days of just standing there trying to level a Pokemon gym up just to put something in.
I mean, having creepers stand outside school grounds, like trying to...
It's
get this Pokemon in there.
So that there's a bit of that. That actually gets brought up a little bit later on in this update as well.
Creepers?
Yes, it's super. It gets super weird, but I love it. But yeah, like now when you put a Pokemon in a gym, it gets a little heart motivation meter, and as the Pokemon stays in the gym, it actually loses motivation, making it actually easier to fight over time. So
someone who's not paying attention to it. But...
Right. And so essentially you can't just drop Pokemon in the gym and then walk away and be like, I put it in this rural community, no one's going to ever take it down. And it eventually will get removed due to lack of motivation, and it will go back to your party. So there's a bit of like maintenance on your part as a player now to make sure you go to check up on your Pokemon, because you can actually feed them the berries from your backpack to raise their motivation.
I mean,
That's a big update.
They're forcing people to go back outside.
Yes, essentially, it's not just the fire and forget anymore.
Yeah.
And so...
Which it was, because I mean, when I went to Ontario, I had one on a lakeside in Lake Ontario. Mm-hmm. That was the one that I've only ever had for more than, I got the actual bonus from him, because he stayed there for so long because no one else was going, and anybody else who was couldn't must Snorlax. Right. So now... when you fight a Pokemon, say the Pokemon's got 1,000 CP, you put it into the new gym system. Over time, it actually loses CP because of the lower motivation, making it easier to basically knock out if you were an opposing team member. You're spending a lot less time basically at a gym knocking Pokemon out, rather than just standing there for hours trying to figure out if the CP is going to be high enough to knock out other Pokemon. Now has is fighting still the same?
Fighting is still the same. It's still tapping for the quick attacks, holding for the fast attacks. You still swipe and dodge. The big change with the coins now, because there's no more defender bonus, and how the defender bonus works now, you get coins rewarded based off of how long your Pokemon stays in a gym.
Okay.
So if you do put a Pokemon in a gym and you do maintain it regularly, you make sure it's got a good amount of motivation by feeding it berries, you can get, in theory, more coins, because you get the coins as soon as the Pokemon comes back to your possession.
Okay.
So it's like, your Pokemon had a hard-fought battle. He brought you 10 coins or something like that, or he brought you 15 coins, and I think it's like a coin per hour, up to a maximum of 50 coins per day.
There's a magic card guarding this gym.
Per day.
That makes no sense, because there's 24 hours in a day, and how would you get 50 coins?
You can have multiple gyms.
I guess.
You can have multiple gyms.
Okay.
Or you could have one Pokemon in a gym for 20 hours, which is what I had the other day.
Yeah.
And so it's people are still working out how the CP loss and how the motivation loss works in the math. And I think the average CP losses per battle, if you knock a Pokemon out, it's about 16% or something like that. A lot of team play mechanics now. That being said, now that there are less slots in gyms, they've actually turned a lot of Pokemon stops in the world into gyms to help accommodate. There is technically more. So, for example, at the Legislature, which is one of the big hotspots in Edmonton for Pokemon stops and Pokemon gyms, there used to be two gyms.
Yep.
Now there are 5 gyms.
Okay.
There are now 5 gyms, but 5 gyms with 6 slots each.
Well, and I know I saw a thing online that said they were starting to accept more
stops.
People taking, actually adding stops.
Right, and so that has to do with the Ingress app, their other game. Because high-level Ingress players actually have the ability to influence where new stops exist, and new portals exist in Ingress, which will translate to stops in Pokemon Go, because they just use the same data.
What a way to make Ingress like a game too. It's want more stops, must play Ingress.
Yeah, you know what? Before Pokemon Go officially came out, I actually did play a lot of Ingress.
I looked at Ingress and I was like, this is confusing. The Pokemon thing made it very
it was very accessible.
Accessible.
And I think that comes with the fact that Ingress has been out for like 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
So they've had time to build a solid game mechanic around that game. And Pokemon Go is getting there. I mean, you see this giant gym update, this giant raid update that they're working on.
Raid battles are not yet available for your level. Please try again later.
So, the big thing, the next huge update is the raid battles. The raid battle, essentially, you will see a giant egg. You'll see a giant egg on top of a Pokemon gym, and essentially you can all gang up. You can gang up on this
right
Pokemon.
over there.
I can go fight it later.
We can take a walk. I can't help you.
No, you can't, unfortunately.
What level do I have to flip and be?
So, right now they're just beta testing the raid mechanics. They initially had it at the level 35 and higher. You could only access it.
Oh.
And then they dropped that down to 31, and now it's 25. I think 25 is the level you need to be.
Okay, guys, we have a lot of catching to do today. If we're gonna get me up to 25.
I'm already level 32.
He's there.
I'm comfortable.
We're gonna sit and watch Tony's phone.
Cool. You're raiding.
I'll bring my Switch.
So how raids work is you need to use a raid pass that you can actually get from the Pokemon gyms, because Pokemon gyms you can actually spin like Pokemon stops now. They don't just.
I saw that yesterday.
They're not just gyms anymore. You can spin them like a photo disc, like a Pokemon stop, and that's where you get your raid pass. You can get 1 raid pass per day, but you can only hold 1 raid pass in your entire inventory. So you can really only have 1 at one time. So you can do 1 raid per day. You can also buy more additional premium raid passes from their store. I think it ends up being like 3 for like $1 or something like that.
Allow me to check.
You're not high enough level yet.
It should still tell me I can buy them.
No, you can't buy them because you can't own a raid pass until you're the X amount of level.
What a crock.
I know. I was like that too because when it came out, it was like level 35 and up. I was like, well, fuck, I'm only level 32.
There's a nearby raid battle starting soon.
I know. That's what it told me as soon as I logged in, and I'm like, cool, that's exciting. And then guess what? It's
You're not high enough level.
I'm 19.
Huh?
I'm 19.
I'm 14. Where's his closies?
Scrubs. So raid
noobs.
That's okay. My guy's walking around right now because it still can't quite pinpoint my GPS, so my Squirtle's slowly gaining.
Sick.
Yep.
So raid battles are broken up into five different tiers of difficulty levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm walking too.
5th level legendary egg battles are reserved for like the Pokemon, the legendary Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
So no one has seen those yet in the wild. I don't know how they're going to manage that because spoofing is still huge in this game.
Huge.
I watched one of the YouTubers play one of the raid battles when it came out. He's like, yeah, we've got 5 people here. We're going to go into this raid. He logs into the raid. There are 30 people here. And he looks around. He's like, there's only 5 of us. And it was like the entire like raid lobby was full of spoofers. And I'm just thinking, I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, they still haven't fixed the spoofing problem. They have workarounds now. If they can detect when you catch a Pokemon using an illegal app, they will actually put a cross through your Pokemon, and that Pokemon will not be able to be used for anything other than, hey, you got a Pokemon. You can't use it in battles. You can't. I don't think you can. I feel like you can't transfer it, but I think you should be able to if you have. Not that I know a whole lot of details on this, illegal Pokemon catching stuff, but their official statement is that Pokemon with the cross through it won't act not as properly as you
as a regular.
So you can't put it in gyms, you can't use it to fight. You can probably transfer it away, but
I shall transfer you and make you candy.
So so Pokemon Go had a huge update this week, and I was out for a lot of it.
I'm out too.
I haven't had a chance.
Walking around.
We're outside right now.
Yep, right now we're outside.
Raid battles dropped last night, so I didn't have an opportunity to really do any raid battling. But I've had a lot of opportunities to do some of the gym stuff.
Yeah.
And I really, really dig it because it really promotes team play. Sure, the Pokemon gym might be full, but you can always spend berries to buff up your teammates' Pokemon as well.
Sure.
And with the gym update, they've actually introduced gym badges to the game.
I saw that. I saw you post that, and I was like, what?
So each Pokemon gym has its own dedicated badge. So like the mural badge at downtown, or like the fountain badge at the legislature. When you interact with that gym, you'll get your first badge, and so you can slowly
Do you have to win?
No,
Just interact with
You
so
can
just
interact
spin
with.
the-
You can spin the disc. You can put a Pokemon in there. You can
We're
fight.
taking a walk to the local elementary school after this one.
If an opposing team color has the gym, you can combat it and fight it and get points for the gym badge as well.
And that's why I say it always makes me laugh with like the one just over here, because it's right at the front doors of an elementary school. So we'll go for walks in the evening, and you'll see like the one guy in like, you know, just a random dude just like outside the school, and it's like, and and then you see them, and they're sitting there like this, and then finally they're
maybe shut up. That's like
well, and it's a gym, so they're sitting there like this because they can use kind of both fingers. It's not like they're just sitting there. You know, when you walk around, you see people like this, and it's like,
That's
okay, clearly playing Pokemon. This one, like, it's a guy in front of the school, like, and you're going, I hope you don't do that during the day.
Nope.
So
That's a good way to get the cops called really quick.
maybe it's a good idea to put a Pokemon in there then. I don't know. Spoofers are still pretty big.
There's only 2 Pokemon in there right now.
What color is it?
Yes.
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 It's colored. Yes.
That's the answer to
We
my
could probably
question.
take
I
it.
don't know the answer.
You're red.
I'm blue.
Doesn't matter what color it is. So that's the big thing is with the raid battles. It doesn't matter which team color you are.
Which is a good thing, unless they were going to let us re-choose teams.
If I had the option to re-choose, I would go yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would go yellow.
I'm a Zapdos guy. I don't actually care about the...
No, I like teams. I like Spark. That character is pretty cool.
It looks like it is a red gym.
Excellent. So yeah, go out there, look for new Pokemon gyms to interact with. Raid battling will eventually be available. Oh, it's easy to beat. Raid battling will eventually be available for everybody. Yeah, it's red.
Yeah, I gotta go add to it.
So he can beat your Pokemon
I
down?
don't care. I'm in it.
Hold on, let me organize
because-
by CP.
Give me an hour. Let me get a coin.
681 CP is my highest.
So raid battling will eventually be available for every player of all levels. They're just making sure it rolls out to
Slowly but sure. I know, and that's like,
So-
'cause that's the biggest thing is like, especially when I open my app and it goes raid battle, like it's starting soon, and I click the thing and it's like you can't do it, and it's like not a good way to get me back into this game.
I think they want to make sure their servers don't melt.
And you know what? Honestly,
Fair enough.
Like it happened last year. Let's be honest, and it wasn't fun.
well, and I mean,
Yeah.
I've
And I think they've learned a lot too over the past year of how.
and just obviously playing something like Friday the 13th, where the same thing kind of happened. Yeah.
People need to learn.
But people aren't expecting this many people to jump onto stuff, and I mean, Friday the 13th was prepped for 30,000 people,
It didn't receive.
and that was
30,000.
it's received 75,000
Yes.
people, but like they went off pre-order numbers, they went off of like you know, all the analytical data they had, and they actually buffered that,
Yeah.
and they still ended up with way more. So
And
it's
same
just
thing
in
with
a
Pokemon.
server-based world, you have no idea.
And especially with Pokemon Go, where everybody's got a smartphone that can run this
Oh
game.
yeah, that was yes.
And it being free.
Yep.
Like, everybody and their grandmas downloaded the game and went out and played.
Well, yeah, like that was huge, and I mean, and everybody's reporting on it because you're sitting there going like, "Oh yeah, get out and go for a walk with your kid, and they can catch Pokemon."
Yeah, when
and-
you go for a walk for your dog, you can also walk in Pokemon.
Yep.
Kind of thing, right?
Oh
So-
yeah, Squirtle.
Yeah, no, the raid battling will be really, really exciting. I did see a 10,000 CP Magikarp. It's ridiculous.
What?
It's ridiculous. So the way that they randomize the Pokemon within the egg for the raid, it's just completely random.
Okay, so that's the Magikarp that's over there right now.
Right. Is there what? I'm so confused.
There's a Magikarp that way
Oh, okay.
in a raid thing.
Well, no, it'll show you the Pokemon that's in the top of the gym.
Yeah.
But it might not be a raid. So that's the big thing. It doesn't show. It'll show you the egg if there's a raid on top.
Sorry, raid battles are not yet available, and there's a. Oh no, that's just a regular Magikarp.
Yeah.
No, a raid battle. No, it's a raid battle. It's a Magikarp.
Sweet.
Tony has to go.
Well, I mean, the big thing is even though you might fight it and you can defeat it, it's not going to be the same CP in which you fought it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
Win to receive fantastic awards and a chance to catch a stronger than normal Pokemon of your own.
So they treat the Pokemon that come out of the egg in the raid like the ones that you would walk for Pokemon.
You hatch them, yeah.
So they generally have better stats, better CP anyways.
Yeah.
It's just that level 1 raids will have Magikarps. Level 4 raids will have your Dragonites, Tyrantars, Blissies.
This Magikarp is at 1,165 on my thing.
Let's see. Yep, that's a Magikarp in a raid battle.
Carp.
Get
I can't. I'm not eligible to raid battle yet.
We can get there.
Eventually.
Let's go
Today.
double experience.
Yeah, get some lucky eggs on. Get your lucky egg on. So yeah, that's exciting, cool. And I'm looking forward to more raid battling. Look for more.
And there's another one going on over here.
Yeah, when you load the game up, you get notifications like no one's business, especially if you live downtown.
Oh no, this one's just another gym. Man, the red people have really taken over this area.
Let's show them who's boss.
Hey.
There's 6 Pokemon in this gym.
I've got like a 2,500 CP Rhydon, okay?
20,000?
No, 2,500.
Hold on. I'm checking this gym again. There's 6.
In
There's
other news.
All right, so
I'm gonna continue.
I think this gym's got you.
I could probably try it myself. It's only got 5.
Either who.
Yeah.
Moving on. IO Interactive.
10
Interactive. 10 Interactive.
10 Interactive as it's written on our board. But those of us who know what we're talking about, IO Interactive.
If you're familiar with what they do, they make the Hitman games.
They do.
They made that really popular Hitman Season 1.
Yeah,
game.
I think a season-based Hitman game is the way to go, or an episodic Hitman game.
Yeah, because it's too much to. It's a very boring game if you play it from start to finish.
Well,
and especially of that length.
And Hitman is always, I don't know, they try and incorporate a story into it, and I feel like it's really shoehorned in.
Don't need a Hitman story.
Because it's like, I'm trying to escape the agency, but I still have to go around performing hits on people and doing this and doing like.
You know what that sounds like?
Bad people need to die.
That sounds like Splinter Cell.
But at least Splinter Cell, it's I'm covert ops, but I'm still working for this government agency. Hitman all of a sudden is to get this information, you have to go kill this person, but do it in this way. And you're
the story for Hitman can totally just be
go kill someone.
Dude gets assassination missions. Yeah. Goes. That's it.
That's why episodic is the way to go. And you don't even. It's like you read one and you're like, oh, that doesn't sound like a fun one. Go to the next one.
Yeah. So the big news about IO Interactive is that they were let go from Square Enix. Which was because they had said they were going to do a season 2 of the new Hitman series, but with them being let go, people were wondering what's going to happen.
Does Square Enix take it over? Does
IO? What happens to IO? Yeah. Well, this news basically took place at the end of E3, is what it is. IO Interactive is becoming an independent studio, which is probably the best thing to do for them. Yep. And they are going to be retaining all rights to the Hitman, which is excellent.
Are they gonna have a new name? Or are they sticking with IO?
I think they should just stick with IO Interactive, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's.
They're known enough if you've played the Hitman games and stuff.
Yeah, like that's all they do, really.
That's really all they do.
And honestly, in the negotiations with Square Enix, they're like, you can have everything else, but we want this game. Yeah. And with Square Enix, they have big enough other big games that they can worry about. They don't need.
I was gonna say I don't know who you, and then that's the other part is as Square Enix, you're probably looking at it going, we have no one to put on Hitman. Like, do we shelve Hitman for another 10 years, or like what do we do? And it's
Crystal Dynamics is busy with like Tomb Raider stuff.
Yeah, and I was gonna say they'd be the best ones to do a Hitman game, but leave them on the stuff that they're good at right now.
Yeah, like because I cracked open Rise of the Tomb Raider recently, and that's a good game.
Beautiful game.
That's a good game.
That's a good
game.
So, yeah, no, I'm excited for that. As a subsidiary of this news, episode 1 of Hitman is now free to download on all platforms. So I hear that is a good way to start if you're interested in that game, just to get an idea of what this new episodic content is like. That is a good way to experience this game. So
there you go.
Exciting.
That one's a quick one.
Yes.
Yeah. This one's weird.
You guys can.
We'll see how this.
You guys can talk about this a little more.
All right. Netflix has announced a choose your own adventure type viewing format.
Yes.
where during the episode it'll obviously give you a choice, and you'll have to.
Netflix has already had a choose your own viewing format. View next episode.
View next. So that's it. Instead of view next episode, like go to next episode or skip intro, you can now obviously during a show it'll give you choices, and you can choose which way the show is going to go. They're starting with kids shows, so Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Probably the easiest.
Stretch Armstrong.
Which is blowing my mind that they're bringing Stretch Armstrong
That's
back.
not till next year.
Who has the rights to Stretch Armstrong? Like Hasbro?
Must be.
And then there's another one. I
have
can't
one.
remember what it's called.
I know, right?
He's solidified after so many
Furry
years.
Paws? No,
About
yeah,
right.
Furry Paws or something like that.
So I'd like to see how this works out. I mean, obviously.
It's
I mean,
interesting.
for
I
Big
might
Boy
watch
show-
it just to see.
Right, I'm gonna obviously I'll put on an episode of.
Can
You know, we watched an episode of Puss in Boots or whatever it was.
I didn't care for it.
Like all the
I
DreamWorks
have a
shows
little
are
nephew.
actually. All the DreamWorks shows are interesting enough. Like there's the Hail King Julian show. That's the Madagascar spin-off,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it follows King Julian around.
Someone
here
had to
going, like,
explain that to me, by the way. I didn't understand what was going on when I was watching that.
well, and it's not Sacha Baron Cohen, which makes a difference too.
Well,
And it's not obviously the full writing staff of the movie, and it's not just a small part of the movie. It's like when you sit there and you go, the minions are actually really cool when they play against a straight character. Like, they're funny. They're like Rabbids. Rabbids with Mario is just going to be like, what? Because straight character Mario of like, what the hell are you doing? Versus like the Rabbids like,
actually, yes, that's what I'm excited for.
yeah. The lemurs of Madagascar from the Madagascar movies really do play well against other characters,
Every other character.
not as themselves. So I mean, it's not a great
Like
show.
the penguins?
Yeah, the penguins themselves are like, we watched that movie too, and you're like, come on.
Yeah.
I think those are a big fan favorite, though.
And they are. It's like the
Penguins.
Minions. All of a sudden, the Minions got their own. And I honestly kind of liked the Minions movie. I thought it was.
Wasn't too bad,
I thought
yeah.
it was well done.
I didn't.
But as a whole, like I'm sitting there going, if I could watch a Minions movie and pretty much choose, you know, do they go left or right down the street?
Which villain did they choose to side with?
Sure, and I get a different show out of it. And
How does Kevin make his breakfast in the morning?
and honestly, if you think about it, this is a fairly.
Banana or banana?
Banana or banana?
And one banana, he eats it and explodes, and the other one, he's perfectly fine, and the show continues. This is honestly a fairly cheap way of making a show too, because you can make
Well,
so
you're
many
gonna have to
episodes.
have, you're gonna have to have different.
branches, but
Yeah,
but the
the
fact
way
that
it
it's
goes.
all animated, that makes it a little bit
a
easier.
little bit
to-
easier.
It's easier for the staff to write for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is essentially a DVR game.
What other Netflix shows would you want as a choose your own adventure?
13 Reasons Why.
I was gonna say House of
No.
Cards. I was gonna say House of Cards.
Daredevil.
Do you want to go down the hallway or or down the stairwell?
Up the stairwell.
13 reasons.
Why?
Really?
I didn't say that. He said
I
it.
did.
Oh.
I said
What?
Daredevil.
Oh yeah. No, that's a
Listen to
bad.
more tapes? Yeah, just get this over with.
Get to season 2.
What was I going to say now?
I don't know.
Penguins, Madagascar stuff.
No, not any of the cartoons. I'm trying to think. Orange is the New Black.
No.
Shanker, have sex with her.
Both at the same
Got it.
time.
Who's Shanker? I don't watch Orange is the New Black.
Shank?
Shank, as in shank.
Oh, I thought that was a nickname for someone.
Come on, get with your prison terms.
I heard Shanker, so I was like, oh, is that a nickname for
I've
someone?
only ever seen season 1.
Apparently,
I haven't even gone
there's
through
a Easter egg cameo in end of season 3 of Kimmy Schmidt
Oh, yeah.
that ties right into Orange is the New Black. And Amir's been kind of watching the new season of Orange is the New Black to
Yeah.
see if that actually is a canon Easter egg or not. I don't think it is.
And I went through Netflix last night looking for something to watch, and there are a lot of new Netflix originals
Yes.
popping up here and there, and it's like, yeah, I can't see this format
Oversaturated.
taking off with.
Oversaturated.
Actually, Kimmy Schmidt would be a really good one for a Choose Your Own Adventure. It's
It
like
could do a choose your own adventure episode. I think that would be kind of cool.
it's like Kimmy's first day at whatever.
but it would honestly on Netflix I think have to be its own like Kimmy Schmidt special.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. It would totally be it.
Because if you watched it during a regular season and it was like, yeah, go to next episode, and it goes to the next episode, and then it just sits there waiting for you to make a decision. You're like,
or it's like, this is the episode of this is Titus's special day.
Yeah.
We'll choose what he wants to do for his birthday, or something like that.
Weird, like
something
that.
like kooky.
That'd be cute. But honestly, as like for me, I'm sitting there going, I love those kind of books as a kid.
I think we all kind of grew up with that.
They were,
where you kept your finger on the page, like, you know.
Oh, I went real old school. There used to be a phone number in one of the yellow pages that it was a free phone number you could dial, and it was literally a choose your own adventure. It's like, press 1
for this.
Do you want to fight the wizard? Press 2.
No, mine was like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I remember it still because I kept getting eaten by an octopus no matter what I did. And then I went through the whole book page by page to find like the ending that actually had us like explore the bottom of the ocean and come back alive. And to get there you're just like, what? Because you make a choice that's actually a fairly okay choice in my brain. I'm going, oh, this is the reasonable choice. Yeah. Eaten by a shark, and you're like,
nope, you gotta go crazy.
And I'm like, okay, fine, I will take the non-logical choice and see where this leads. Got killed by a octopus, and I'm like, okay, so apparently that page is just the devil. Go back like another.
Where was it again? My finger was on the page. It was fine. It's legal. My fingers.
Yeah, I didn't move my finger.
Legal.
So yeah, I think it's a cool experiment to say the least.
And doing it with kids shows is the right thing to do.
Oh, for sure.
Because how many kids watch Netflix, or how many parents put kids in front of Netflix? Not
too many.
Not to be a bad parent, but yeah, some bad parents will do that.
Too many. Ours is my nephew will sit there and he'll come over and he wants to watch like Paw Patrol or something like that, and you're sitting there going, okay, get one. And he goes, 2. And you go, 1.
And then he grabs the Nerf gun and
and then he's like 2, and you go 1. He go 2, and you go none. 1. And you're like, okay. So then you watch the 1, and then you turn it off, and he goes, and he's kind of mad at you, but like he understands it. But yeah, and I mean, I watched a lot of TV as a kid. It's not like, but yes, it should not replace the parent in the household.
Yes, we're getting to not using TVs as parents, now using Netflix as parents.
Yeah, and I mean, it's easier now.
Same with iPads
and for sure.
Netflix and
iPads
YouTube
are the worst.
Netflix and YouTube is getting real bad for that on iPads for kids. Yeah. Every time I go to
like people come over to your house and they're like, Wi-Fi password, and you're like, all right, here it is, and you give them your Wi-Fi password. And most of the time, it's just so their data's not being eaten up by whatever, it happens to be. Or if they want to show you something later or something like that. Yeah. You get some people that come over with a kid, and it's that kind of like Wi-Fi password, and you're like, well, here it is. And all of a sudden the iPad's on, and they are in their, iTunes movies and playing and it's like, I have, like, again, I'm a giant child, for those of you that don't know. Yeah. I have a lot of toys at my house.
Spoilers.
Like a lot of toys at my house. Nerf guns. I have the plastic bowling ball set. I have Lego. So like I have toys for all the way to
kids. Yeah.
Like I'm set, and then you come over to my house, and if you put an iPad in front of them, you're just sitting there going like, I have things for your kid to do.
Or I think my biggest pet peeve is when you go to like restaurants.
Yeah. Well.
Restaurants and the parents would put the iPad in front of the kid. Like no, like I don't know. When I see that, I think like you're not really developing social skills with that kid. Like you just
but there's a point of saturation for some kids. Like restaurants, I can kind of get because you're trying to keep your kid.
Oh, these restaurants are already noisy.
No, well then no.
Yeah,
if you're taking your kid to Chuck E. Cheese, there's no point to bringing an iPad. But if you bring your kid to like Olive Garden, then maybe an iPad's not a bad thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I go to a lot of Chinese restaurants, so those are super loud already.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a cool.
America.
Yeah.
It's a cool system. I'm intrigued.
I would love to see a Kimmy Schmidt have a special.
Well, in all honesty, we've wanted to play how many like DVR games for a playcast just for like shits and giggles.
Oh,
this could honestly just be.
This is what we do.
Oh, one of your DVR games is on sale. With some summer scene, I don't know.
I'll have to take a look.
Remember we looked at one day and found one that we're like, this could be interesting. It's now like 50% off.
Excellent. I have Steam credits from. I
sold selling cards.
Yeah, I sold a lot of cards. I sold a lot of TF2 crates for like 5 cents each.
Yep.
Because I don't play TF2 no more.
I also don't understand the cards.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Play a game, get trading cards.
That's fine.
Get a set of trading cards. You can like level up your
your profile? You craft your profile up or something like
Yeah,
that?
so you can make your profile like
Better?
seem more better.
Or you know,
I can sell them for some of them. Like I've made 20-some cents off of some of those cards.
And it adds up because you get tons of cards. I think I got $10 by selling all my crates and cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I got I sold them all the one time, and I'm like, I pretty much got like a free game.
Yeah, I have a. Yeah,
And then a Humble Bundle thing came out, and I'm like, ooh. Pay money.
Humble Bundle's got that Humble Wallet now, which is pretty cool.
Humble Wallet, I like. You get 5% back.
Yeah, that's
whatever
actually
you
pretty
spend
cool.
in the store, or you can give it to charity.
Yeah.
I am a charity.
I am the charity. I got like $5 back from buying Tomb Raider.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's all we've got this week.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
Yep. More on the post-credit show coming up right after this, where we talk about the games, movies, and other experiences we've been having over the last week.
Yes.
Spoilers, mine's pretty boring.
I had to make a list.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, I missed a week.
I know.
I
watched-
missed a week.
We'll talk about
Oh,
it.
2 things.
Spoilers.
We'll walk.
Spoilers.
We'll talk about it.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Be
We'll see-
excited.
we'll see you guys later.
Yeah,
We'll see
check
you
us
guys
out
later.
at barrelrollnews.com.
5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes
Yep.
ish. Yeah.
Go to barrelrollnews.com while you wait.
Yeah.
Check out all of our other stuff.
Log into our Discord.
Yeah. Join
Yeah.
us. You can join us.
You can chat at us. Throw words at us.
If you guys also want,
Please don't throw
I
things at me.
went because Patreon got an update.
Yeah.
So this is news. Here's some news. Patreon got an update, so we can actually add Discord now to some of our rewards.
Oh, that was a long time ago, I think.
But they've rebranded, so the whole page had to change.
Oh.
So I had to update the page. Well, now, instead of if we make so much money, we'll do a pre-show or whatever. If you now for rewards, if you donate X amount a month to our Patreon page, you actually gain access to a special exclusive Discord channel.
Yes, I knew about that one.
Chat channel. And also, if you pledge even more money than that, there's a Playcast channel in our Discord now, just for people who pay money. So then once a month, you get to play games with us and chat with us for realsies.
Use your microphone.
You can hear our voices in your ears.
More. You can hear more of our voices. I hear tons of voices already.
Yeah.
We can share that with you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get to play games with us. So check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/BRNN.
All right. Well, on that note, let's flip the switch to the next thing.
Uh-oh. The switches have moved.
No, they haven't.
Hold on.
We're not switching.
There we go.
Switching.
Bye, everybody.
Switching.
Bye.